The charred ruins of an apartment building in Irpin on the outskirts of Kyiv. Not long ago, this place, 158 Severodnivska Street, was home to hundreds. The ordinary lives they lived here now shattered.
This kitchen, this room.
17-year-old Irina Savalieva's apartment was on the third floor. She lived there all her life with her parents, grandma, and uncle.
When you see those pictures, you're probably thinking of what it was like before.
I haven't any words because it was emotions. It was very hard.
Harder still because her uncle was killed in the Russian assault.
So much destruction everywhere.
Yes.
Irina takes us inside to see what remains. We have to tread carefully, walking on shattered glass and the debris of her family's broken life.
This was living room. There my uncle live.
This is where your uncle, this is where he was killed?
Yes.
Nothing was salvageable, every cherished piece of family history destroyed.
And it's my and grandmother's room.
Irina shows us the bedroom she shared with her grandma. These walls used to be filled with family photos.
You must have happy memories in this room.
Yes, yes.
How do you feel in here right now?
Hard. It's too hard.
Forced from home, Irina and her family are now staying with other relatives. The future feels heavy and uncertain.
It's all my life. And now it's destroyed.
Back outside, Irina struggles to hold back tears as she tries to hold on to what her family has left.
The apartment, and it's very important, but it's not the more important. Nowadays, more important are our lives.
Scars of the battle here, fierce fighting to hold back Russian forces intent on taking the capital, are everywhere. Not even the playground behind the building was spared. Imagine this was your home, the place where you hung up your coat, where you lived and loved, feared and dreamed, and this is all that's left. Bits of furniture are all Volodymyr Osadchi could save from his family's apartment of 50 years. He shows us his hands stained by the ash.
I curse them for what they have done. Why did they do this to us?
A searing anger shared by his wife Maria as they survey the damage. She's devastated. This is where they raised their children.
I want them to burn in hell, the same way our apartment burned.
They're now moving to a nearby village, a decision forced on them by this brutal invasion. The corner where Raisa and Mikola Pustovit live was less damaged. Still, there's no running water or electricity. So every day, several times a day, they lug these jugs of water up 8 flights of stairs. They used to cook big meals here for their grandchildren. Now what little food they have comes from a nearby donation center. The building isn't safe with so many stories burned out. The windows are broken and there's no heat, but they have nowhere else to go.
Can you understand what it would be like to start your life over at 70? We lived our life, but I still wanted the rest of our years to be worthwhile.
They're relieved to still have their belongings, but their trauma is obvious and painful. They say neighbors were killed by Russian soldiers right in front of them.
There are no words. My soul is aching. We lived through this period of terror. My mind is broken. I don't know how to recover it.
Who will ever recover it?
But halfway through the interview, it becomes clear what keeps them going. Raisa gets up. We don't know why at first, but she's gone to get photos of their grandkids. Instantly, the mood lifts. As they tell us stories of their grandchildren, we get to see what this couple was like before this horrible war. So full of life and joy.
These are beautiful memories.
They also show us pictures of themselves from decades ago, when they never could have imagined this is how their later years would be. We leave them to their memories, hoping somehow, someday, they'll make happy once again.
So, hey, Ellen, you're back now from Irpin, and the desolation there really comes across from the very first moment of your piece. But being there, can you tell us what stood out most for you?
Well, these residents, Andrew, were in that apartment building in the early days of the fighting, terrified, hiding in bomb shelters before they fled. Others, like Irina Savleyeva's uncle, tragically did not get out in time. They all told us just how devastating it is to have to tear yourself away from your home. The most powerful moment for me was that switch in emotion at the end of the piece from the Pistovits. To see them come alive and be so happy looking at pictures of their grandkids was really beautiful to see, but it was also heartbreaking because before the war they could have unencumbered joy, but now, as we saw, they really just get to have small flickers of less dark moments.
Ellen Morrow, thank you very much.
You're welcome.